applied to Fairleigh Dickinson University Business School, got in, started studying accounting, and probably like when I was like 6 months out from finishing or something like that, I reapplied to DEA and went through the whole process, interviewed. And it's funny because, man, one of the guys on my panel interview, I still keep in touch with him to this day. Still keep in touch with him to this
Wow.
day, and just saw him, 2 months ago, and text, call him. He's out here in California now too, so it's kind of interesting. And that's something that there's a learning lesson in there, not to get off track, but we don't realize the impact that one simple conversation might have in someone's life. Because I guarantee he doesn't remember that interview,
Mm.
right? He was ready to ship off to Thailand. He was a dude that was probably around the office. They didn't want, we know how this is. They didn't want to get him involved in any cases because they didn't want to have to pay for him to come back to testify. So they're like, hey, we got interviews today. You're going to interview this guy. So to him, it meant nothing. But to me, I always remember him and I always remember that conversation. And it was, ended up getting the job. So it was incredibly impactful. So that always stuck with me. Like, you don't know the impact that you're having on someone in a simple conversation that you're not going to remember the next day. So, so carry on every conversation as if it's that impactful conversation, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that you got an accounting degree because I
Mhm.
remember at the time it was prior military,
Yep.
prior police, accounting
Yep.
degrees, speak a foreign language. But then I remember at the academy, we had guys in our class. I remember one guy, Perrier salesman. It was just,
Who's that?
it was one of
What did you say though?
Perrier water salesman.
Oh, okay. Man, I don't remember who that was.
Yeah, I can picture his face. I'll have to get his name. But it was just a life experience.
Yeah.
That's all they wanted.
Yeah.
And it was certainly odd for me because I was so young. And that's why I
Yep.
wanted to chat with you a little bit about, no military, no police, no experience whatsoever. You get to the academy. What are you in
Yeah.
shock?
And by the way, like, I'll answer that, but that's something that what you just talked about frustrates me to this day because there are recruiters that when people, DEA recruiters for DEA right now, that when people call them about the job, they tell them, hey, go get some law enforcement experience first.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a huge mistake. There, people have so much to offer. We need to look everywhere. We need to look across every occupation and look everywhere for qualified people. And you'd be surprised, like some of the best agents that I knew, one was a hairdresser, one that's an ASAC now, still working. He was the shopping cart guy at Target, literally. But he spoke a foreign language and he had a strong work ethic. So he turned out to be a dynamite agent.